If they were so good, you'd still be with them. I know you're going through a hard time financially. But don't start thinking about calling folks and just getting a little on the side. Don't start thinking about doing that stupid stuff again. That's what I used to bring you to your knees. Now I got you standing again. You off of your knees and standing in the power of God's might. Don't go back to that again. You see what I'm trying to say? This is the stuff that we need to be anchored with in order to find our satisfaction, our stability in the kingdom. Let's continue on. Where did I stop at? No, I'm on number 2. God has also designed that these winters, like the natural seasons of the earth, don't last forever. After each winter, there's a summer. But if the heat source of the Holy Spirit, like the rays of the sun in our analogy, cannot penetrate the pain and the cold-blooded and icy circumstances that have happened in your life with the forgiveness, say forgiveness, forgiveness of yourself and others, then the internal environment will not be warm enough to allow the snow of our painful events to melt. They start becoming ice. Watch this. And just like our analogy, they will begin to accumulate and become spiritual fern. How many got some spiritual fern in one area or another in your life? At this point, it's not a full-fledged glacier that sank below the surface, but rather accumulated pain that with enough of the heat of God from within and in our environment can and will be softened. It'll soften the snowy scars, our hard heart, and release us from becoming full-fledged glaciers. Watch this. That can't be seen by most, but is a danger to all. Can't be seen by most. You know, the majority of a glacier is beneath the surface. This is why the Titanic hit the glacier. He thought that he had a whole lot more room, you see, to navigate that ship. And he forgot that the glacier is much bigger than what you see. How many been hooked up with a husband or wife or a boyfriend and a girlfriend that didn't see that glacier coming? I just seen what you said and the personality that you get, but I didn't see all that mess up under the surface. Well, guess what? You got a lot of mess up under the surface too. This is why the Holy Spirit can heal us. This is why we got to come close to the throne. This is why there's room at the cross. This is why those who have come to the cross need to take up their cross and follow him. Deny themselves daily. Don't ever get too far away from the cross. Let's continue on. This is what we are seeing all around us. This is what we've seen. This is what we heard about. The beginning of this message. The person that killed that baby was a glacier that was a danger to all. He was a victim of an injury that had never been corrected. I'm sure, I'm positive that at one time or another he's been in a church. If you've been black, you've been in a church. And I'm sure that he heard the message. But so many ministers are promising houses and cars and prosperity and all of these things that men can give you. That the message was no good to him. I'm sure at one time, because of the mercy of God, that he was in pain and he crept into a church and the Holy Spirit drew him into the church, but the message wasn't relevant to healing his broken heart. We're not preaching that here, saints. We're not preaching, I want you to prosper and be in good health, but I want your soul to prosper. I want you to have enough, but I don't want you to have so much that you forget about God. I want you to have enough, but I don't want you to have so little that you go back to thinking about Egypt. Going back to the world and thinking that you can get it met outside of there. No, it's all in the kingdom. How many believe it's all in the kingdom?